All right, guys. So if you just logged on to here, please help me out. Help out the program by hitting the like button, hitting the share button, and all those beautiful things that I'm asking you to do for me. All right, this welcome to it's Real Talk Tuesday. So I want to welcome you guys to Real Talk Tuesday. Got a pretty full panel tonight. Got the mayor on, of course. He'll be up here in about 17, 16 minutes. Also tonight, we're going to have county council candidate, District 3 candidate, excuse me, Ernie Cooper is going to be joining us in the conversation tonight. So all my people out in District 3, if you have any questions, please tap in and post your questions. And I mean, if you come across this after we get off of the live, then just leave the questions in there, and leave your questions, and I'll try to get the best answer for you as soon as possible. See what we got here. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna send this link to your Facebook. I'm gonna send this link to your Facebook. That might make it easier. That might make it easier. Let's see what I got here. I'm gonna send it to your messenger, Miss Cooper. Also tonight, I'm gonna have on. First of all, let me bring my man up. Amir, can you hear me? Got Amir been tapping in here. I saw Amir today. Um, he's having some internet issues right now. We'll get those fixed. But me and him, we're definitely gonna shoot a podcast while he's out for spring break. I know he's out right now on spring break. Said he went to baseball camp today. That's something else. I got the schedule for Andrews Highs participating in this tournament. Um, Andrews Highs participating in this tournament in Georgetown at Mike Johnson Field. Well, now I'm definitely going to get up there one day. I know they start tomorrow. I'll post the schedule up here in a second once I can get to it. Give me a second here. Let me. All right, there's Miss Cooper. Let me send you this link here through StreamYard. And Miss Cooper is got an event coming up here on April 13th. Find the flyer, and there it is right there. And it is the Built Autism Tough. It's the annual autism walk. Um, and it takes place in Andrews, South Carolina. The walk begins at 9:30 a.m. And let me get this link sent over here, and Miss Cooper can give you some more details as far as what's going to be going down on. And I probably need to go on here and share it out because it's probably not even being shared. Well, wow. All right, so there's the live. It's out there. Welcome to Edge the podcast. You see it on the screen right there. It's the annual Autism Walk that's going to be taking place Saturday, April 13th from 9 to 12 p.m. in Andrews, South Carolina. It's going to be a ton of resources, food, fun, and door prizes. The walk begins at 9:30 a.m. Contact Andrea Cooper Neesmith at 843-344-8859 across from Piggly Wiggly at Andrews Pavilion, 15 West Ashland Street, and that's here in Andrews, South Carolina. Again, it's the Autism Walk. This is going to be taking place on April 13th. And the founder of this walk just sent her a link into her messenger, and she's trying to get on now so she can come on and talk a little bit more about the walk and all that's involved in it. Great, good turnout last year. Great turnout last year. So we're looking forward to more people being out there on the 13th. So look forward to that. I want to shout out. So you guys probably didn't hear me because I wasn't streaming out to the public, but shout out to my man Jay came down. Jay from Clean Feed, Naomi Production came down today and helped me out setting up this location where I'm setting up at. Brought in some sound blankets. Otherwise, you guys would hear a big time echo going on behind me. But thanks to my man Jay, came down, set me up, got on the road. He's traveling back now to Myrtle Beach. Didn't want to travel too late. You know how it is when the more people get on the road late at night. You gotta go ahead and get them off of there. Let's see. Amir, are you still in here? Are you in here, Amir? Amir said, no, I'm not in there, buddy. But yeah, also tonight, again, I was oh, there he is.
Am I here? Can y'all hear me? Am I good?
Yeah, buddy.
Am I good?
Yeah, how are you, man?
I am good.
So spring break's going on. It's going fast, I'll tell you that. It's already Wednesday tomorrow.
It's almost Wednesday.
Yeah. So what have you done? What have you been doing for what have you been doing for internet. What have you been doing for your spring break so far?
For Rosemary?
No, for spring break, what have you been doing? What did you you told me you was telling me that you went to football camp. I mean, excuse me, baseball camp today. How was that?
Yeah, it was good. We did the basics. We fielded and kind of threw a little bit. I think we're batting tomorrow a little bit.
Okay.
Doing some other stuff.
How many kids were there? I see you back there, Miss Cooper. I'll be pulling you up here in a second. How many kids were there, Amir?
About 15, 10, something like that. It was a good bit. It was like 11. I don't know. I didn't really count. I know it was only 2 from Andrews. And they thought we were so bad, so we had to show them a little something.
No doubt. Are you excited about the you guys getting a new principal at Rosemary? Are you excited about that? Are you
Oh yeah. I don't know, because I mean, I don't know. He go. I don't know. I just don't know yet, because I don't want him to come in and change everything. I want to keep it, but make it better.
But I mean, what if he's changing things for the better? Don't look at change so negative right away. You know what I mean? Your mic just went out, Amir.
Yeah. I'm not saying change is a bad thing. I'm just not make it worse than it is.
Okay, well, I tell you what. This week, we're gonna me and you're gonna do a show. You know, we'll do it earlier because I know you got to be getting ready for camp and everything. But we'll do a deep dive on what you just said. Making it better.
I in camp on Thursday, so we can do it on Friday or whenever.
Okay. All right. Well, just hang in there real fast. Don't go off the line yet. Let me bring Miss Cooper up. This is Miss Andrea Cooper Neesmith. How you doing, Miss Cooper?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. I first of all, I appreciate you for coming on this evening and telling us a little bit more about this great event right here. Last year, I was able to get out there and was a part of it, and I was just, but anyway, tell us about this year's event and what you do. Why did you start doing this? And how can the public, how can, for those who don't or never gotten involved, how can they get involved and help make this even bigger than it was last year?
Yeah, so first, thank you for having me on to share a few words about the event and getting the word out there about the event. And thank you as well for coming out last year to support us and spreading awareness. And so April is Autism Awareness Month, and today is actually World Autism Awareness Day. And so we started putting on the Autism Awareness Walk down in the Andrews, Georgetown County area about 7 years ago. So this is going to be our 7th year doing it down in the Andrews area. And I actually started doing the event because I have 2 boys who are diagnosed with autism, as well as 2 nephews who are diagnosed with autism. And personally, I live up in the Charleston area, so there's a wealth of resources here. Resources are very accessible. However, when my 2 nephews are diagnosed who live down in Georgetown County, I was assisting my brother and sister-in-law with trying to navigate through services there in the area. And that's when I realized how much of a difference it is just from Charleston down to Andrews, Georgetown County area, and how much less resources there are in the Georgetown County area. And that's what actually made me start the walk there down in the Andrews area to bring more awareness to our community. And so the purpose of the walk, as stated on the flyer, is to spread autism awareness as well as acceptance. During the event, I tried to bring out local resources, agencies that actually support and work with children with autism that's there locally in the area. Some of our providers are not local, however, they do service the Georgetown communities. So we try to bring them out with families to give an opportunity for families to see providers that they may not be familiar with, as well as for those families to connect with each other. I think parents supporting each other is a major deal, as well as the community and family supporting these families of children and young adults with autism. That's a big deal. So that's a part of the event as well. So we typically have speakers who kind of share about autism. We like to have a parent or several parents share their story. We also like to have providers who know a great deal about autism share exactly what autism is, how autism looks, so that we're spreading that awareness to the community so that those who are not directly impacted by autism will have a better understanding of what it is and how they could support an individual that's in a community or a relative that they may know who's dealing with a child or young adult with autism.
And in the process of doing this, because I heard you say about family support. Talk a little bit about, have you ever experienced this where parents are kind of reluctant to accept the fact that their child is been diagnosed with autism because of whatever stigma they may have in their mind? But talk a little bit about that and how that's so much. I'm sorry, I get excited and I want to say 1,000 things, but that's why I'm so excited about what you do. That's why I don't have, that's why it's easy for me to support and help and do, because I feel like what I'm doing is, is nothing compared to, what you're doing. But it's because of that, you bringing these resources to an area where we don't, where it's just not a lot of it. Help me out of this. You know what I'm trying to ask you here, but yeah, talk a little bit about that on how maybe a young couple or a couple, whatever, just coming to the realization that, hey, my child has these, and what would you recommend they do as far as getting services, the first, kind of thing they should do?
And so I've absolutely experienced it personally, just within my own household when my oldest son was diagnosed. I'm fortunate enough that I've worked with individuals with autism before my children received a diagnosis. So I kind of knew the signs. I was already familiar with autism and what needed to occur moving forward. My husband, however, was not as familiar. So that in itself, and I'm being totally transparent here, that was for us because I knew it to happen. But I will say that my husband initially was in, somewhat denial. I don't think any parent want to hear the words that their child have a lifelong disability, and we don't know, how they're going to be affected in the future. But I've also met other parents who've been in denial. I've dealt with relatives who are, in denial or who have been in denial. And, as stated, like no parent want to hear what's with their children. And then we have some providers. And when I say providers, you'll have pediatricians who may say, well, this child may have not met this milestone at this age, but, let's wait a little longer. And that occurred with me as well. However, because I was already familiar, I advocated very heavily for us to move forward because I know how important an early diagnosis and early intervention services are for kids. So what I would say to those, and what I do say to those parents and individuals who have a difficult time accepting it, I would say move forward in receiving those services because those early intervention services, as I mentioned, they are very, very important. And although autism is a diagnosis that's a lifelong disability, however, with services in place, children can live, very fulfilled lives even into adulthood. Those symptoms could be reduced if you have those early interventions and therapies in place for them at an early age. So you're actually hindering your child if you're not accepting autism or any special needs or disability for what it is and getting those services in place.
I mean, it's almost, and I don't know why I made this comparison in my mind, but it's like you hear about the earlier a woman gets prenatal care, the better it is for the child. So I can see that being the because ultimately the goal is to getting them to a sense, a place of independence, where they could, kind of take care of themselves on because there's different levels. Can you talk about a little bit about that, about the different levels? Because when we hear autism, I think, we kind of just put one label when it's different levels of autism. If you would speak a little bit about the different.
Yes, so autism is considered a spectrum disorder. And the reason it's considered a spectrum disorder is because there are various levels of autism. So you have some children with autism who are very high functioning. Then you have some children who may require, moderate assistance. And then you have some children who are very severe. So I always tell parents, individuals that I'm speaking with, if you see a child with autism, you've only seen one child with autism. You cannot compare a child with autism to another child with autism because although there are going to be those similar symptoms that we see that's defined as autism, however, their severity or where they fall on the spectrum could be very different. And as you stated, that is the ultimate goal for them to be independent or as independent as possible going into adulthood. And as I mentioned earlier, there are some individuals with autism who, go on, they're independent, they're able to, lead their lives with minimal assistance. However, there are individuals who may fall, more on the severe end of the spectrum that will require either parental or some type of assistance throughout their adulthood. So not only is early intervention important, but also the transitioning piece for young adults who may be, or I'll say students who may be transitioning out of high school, that's on the spectrum that may be a little more on the severe end. I think the transitioning piece is also very, very important because that kind of determines how independent that they may be going into adulthood.
No doubt, guys. We got with us tonight the founder of the Autism Walk, annual Autism Walk in Andrews, and we're going into our 7th year,
7th year.
going into our 7th year. And you see it on the screen right there. But built autism tough. What made you think about that? Because last year you had a nice slogan. Where do you come up with these slogans from?
So I like to have a good theme for our events, and most of the things. I actually have a cousin who she's great with coming up with these, assisting us with coming up with these themes. But most of the themes do kind of center around just us fighting back, like families being strong and tough when it comes to autism, because it can be very, very challenging. So that's kind of why we go with the theme every year to, fight back, or, we're built tough, we're unbreakable.
Yeah. Can you see these pictures on the screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
And
And
these
so these guys,
photos are actually from
last year's event. It was, like I said,
yes.
it was awesome. I came away from it. I learned something. I have an awareness of autism, but this was beautiful. This was again, they had the game truck you see in the background right there, and what was beautiful about it, one of the things that was beautiful about it, the families that came out. You know what I mean? So. It's two sides to that. You got the families that are ashamed, and you got the families that have embraced it. And so this is, you may have a family member who is dealing with autism, and you may be feeling like, I don't know how to deal with them. This is probably a good event for you to come out to and get some information for yourself so that you can help deal with your family member who is suffering from autism. But all right, so Miss Andrea, I ain't gonna hold you here long, but I do want to get you back on next week so we can well, yeah, and I want to do a whole deep dive into autism. You know what I mean? We can get some other people on and basically have a panel discussion. You know what I mean? Directing people to toward resources and things like that. But I'm gonna give you the final say right here. Tell us about the event again, and what we can do as a community to come out and be a part and to help.
Yes. So once again, thanks for having me on. And I will add that it's been a community event from the start. I do not do this alone. My family, there's, small businesses in the community that assist. Friends and family donation assist us with putting this on each and every year. So thank you to everyone who's so gracious and kind every year to assist us with putting this event on. Even other families of children with autism in the area, they also support and give to this event. So thank you to everyone who make this event a success each year. I would definitely love for everyone to come out this year on April the 13th. Lineup will begin at 9 a.m. and the walk will start at 9:30. To support this event, of course, we're always taking donations, and donation does not have to be in the form of a monetary donation, because we like to provide free food, games. We like to provide door prizes to our families. So anything that you would like to contribute, if it's a gift card, if you're a restaurant and you want to provide a gift card to a family or a meal to a family. So just whatever you can provide that would be in support of this event and giving back to our families who are dealing with autism or special needs, that would be wonderful.
All right, there she is, Miss Andrea Cooper Neesmith. I'm sorry, I said it backwards, or did I say it right?
That's correct.
Okay, I said it right. All right, because I will jack up some names. But I appreciate you. Thank you very much for coming on. Again, I would want you to come back on next week, as we build up to this.
Absolutely.
And so we can make this happen. But anyway, I appreciate you, and you have a good night, okay?
Thank you.
All right. All right, guys, you've seen that. She came up here, did her thing, and it's the autism walk. Amir, you still hanging out over there?
Yeah, I was watching the stream, make sure it sounds good, and just watching it.
Hey, you the engineer, man. That's what it is. That's your little brother in there going
I kept
ham.
on hearing. Yeah. I kept on hearing like sirens. I don't know what that was.
I don't know. I didn't have there's
Bunch
no
of stuff
sirens
going
going on
on.
behind me. Yeah.
I hear sirens.
So yeah, man.
Like going probably before. Oh, I missed this place.
Another event we've got coming up here is the Riding Divas. You familiar with them, right? Riding Divas' first annual parade and community fun day, and this is going to take place on Saturday, April 27th. So you got some time to plan ahead. Vendors. There's going to be jumping castles, face painting, and free hot dogs for the kids, raffle drawings, and more. There's going to be two DJs, DJ Tony C and DJ Rock will be on the 1 and 2s. Again, there'll be food trucks, vendors. The food truck and vendor fee is $75. You probably need to check into that. Secure your spot now. And to security spots, you please call 843-925-1160. And it's going to take place at 510 West Main Street here in the big city of Andros, South Carolina. What was that?
I was trying to do an A sign, didn't work out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What's up, Miss Veronica? Also, we just started to talk about an event today, and I'm thinking May, the first weekend in May, we want to have a community event on West Andrews, kids oriented. That'll mean jump castles. That'll mean fun things for the kids to do. But I'm going to put a focus on community unity and brotherhood, brothers coming together, for more than just chaos. So, Miss Veronica, please reach out to me after this so we can get this thing put together. And let's see what we got here. Okay, I sent you guys the links. I'll send you another link. I sent it in the messenger, but I'm gonna send it to you guys' text phone. I mean to your to your phones. Let's do that. All right. I'm sending it now to your phone. There it is. And again, guys, of course, the mayor's about to come on. And we're gonna have we're gonna have future councilman Ernie Cooper. Okay, let me send Ernie here. And I don't know if I got his phone. I should have it somewhere. Yep, I got his phone number right here. But the future county councilman Ernie Cooper is going to be on here in a second, so we're going to have us a good old discussion. They've all right, I sent him his already too. But yeah, Amir, so listen, we're going to get together and we'll shoot from here where I'm at right now.
Yes, sir.
On Friday. All right. So I'm
I'm free Friday. I ain't got nothing.
Oh well, hold on. Let me let you speak to this guy. You see the titles there. Oh, whoa! We got heavyweights in the room now. Hold on, Amir.
I think I just caused you some double feedback there.
No, you sound like you're coming across clear. No? Okay. Is it me? Hold on a second, man. We got a rough
Probably
start.
me.
Tonight.
I'll sign out and come back in.
Okay. All right. Same thing, Mr. Cooper. Sign out and come back in. Oh, hello.
Okay,
Yes.
I think that's why. Hold on a second.
Okay. What am I supposed to be doing? Oh, plug this thing up. Also, guys, right here, Georgetown YMCA after school program at Andrews Elementary School. The things they're going to cover in this program, Andrews program, and after school program is going to cover enrichment. Guest speakers is going to, you're going to have guest speakers coming in talking to the children, arts and crafts, STEM, daily snack, homework help. Register now. A. Hartman at Coastal Carolina YMCA.org is where you will be able to sign up for this program, after school program. All right, I need some power here. All right, Amir, listen, I'm gonna call you after this is over, okay? Well, hold on. Got the music back in here. All right, how you doing there on the sound, sir?
I think we're good now.
Oh yeah, we good to go now.
Hey, welcome back to the. I don't want to call him a new guy on the block. He's been MIA for a while, Mr. Mayor, and good to see you back, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I've been
buddy.
on here. I feel like good while.
Okay, how's Rosemary?
Rosemary is Rosemary. I guess.
You guys got a lot of leadership turnover over there, though. You got some new people coming in.
New principal.
Yep. I just saw that your music teacher, she's going off to pursue her master's degree, and I think Mr. What's the gentleman's name? Mr. Gary is now
Music
taking
teacher.
on.
Miss Moore. Miss Moore's leaving.
Yes.
She's going to Massachusetts. And Miss Goodson's leaving.
Yep.
And I think that's it. That's all I know.
Mr. Brian Gary.
Yeah, that's all I know who's leaving. Unless somebody else. Are he leaving too?
Yeah, I thought you guys got some changes. Yeah.
I kind of wanted him as a teacher, but maybe he would have been on my side. I don't know yet.
Yeah, he's a good man. He's going to be doing great things for us. So we'll see. But it's good to see you. What's going on, Mr. Jamal?
Isn't he like the leader of leaders?
Say it again, Amir.
I was about to say, isn't he the leader of Brides and Gents?
Yes.
All right, Amir. Listen, man, I'm gonna sign you up right now, and like I said, we'll link up. I'll call you after this is done, and well, no, it'll probably be a little late. I'll call you tomorrow. Call me tomorrow when you finish baseball camp.
All right.
All right. All right, Mr. Cooper, can you hear me? I got him. I got him on there. I don't think he's turned his camera on.
Yeah, we need to see her face. That's the candidate for District 3?
That's the new councilman right there.
All right, we got to see his face.
So while he's getting that together, so just right into it. First of all, what you think about Miss Cooper and the program? I mean, last year you were there. Matter of fact, I wouldn't have known about it had you not called me. And so thanks for that call. You ain't have to call me this year. I'll be out there this year.
Oh yes, the autism walk.
Yeah,
They've done a wonderful job pulling this thing together over the years. It's getting bigger and bigger, and it certainly need more attention to it. So I'm looking forward to being out there with them. I think I saw someone was sharing a clip from her time. I think on either Live 5 or one of the television stations today. And so it's getting the attention that it so rightfully deserves. So everyone needs to come out because they do have some professionals out there to help us understand the autism and how we can best help those that are living with it. And they're doing well, again, getting the right treatment and people understanding. Live 5, thank you, ma'am, Ms. McCray. And we just don't need to treat our children any different because of these conditions. They're very smart. They go on to be very successful people. So we can only help if we know what right looks like. So we all need to be out there. What's that date? The 13th, right?
April 13th, Saturday, April 13th at the walk starts in front of Town Hall at 9. The lineup begins at 9. The walk starts at 9:30, and great event. Great event. All right, there. Okay, I think we got them there. Also, speaking of great events, let's see. We have some. Put them out on this one. See if that helps. Take your time, Mr. Cooper. Don't worry, we got it. We'll get you in there. So hey, this was major, man. This was I love when my town be looking good. Now I ain't even gonna front now. And you guys, the Town of Andrews did a good job with this Women's History event. Great speaker that you see right there. Talk a little bit about that, sir.
And again, we're getting, as we go along, we're getting better at recognizing or taking advantage of these national or federal dates that recognizes or bring some light to whether it's African American history, women's history, autism, and I think someone shared me earlier about I think it's domestic violence month, I believe it is. So it's those things that we need to really the town gets behind and make sure that we bring awareness to these things that challenge us oftentimes. In this particular case, this was recognizing women for their contribution to, again, this country. And we narrowed it down. We had one of our very own. There's Peggy there with the Pepsi Cola. You see those two together all the time. Peggy and Pepsi. But we had an opportunity to have Miss Felicia Rue Howard be our guest speaker. But as she said too during her remarks, we had some, the administrator spoke. We had Mrs. Milton who introduced our speaker, but they brought some very encouraging words and enlighten the audience on things that still challenge our women, or not challenge them, or try to challenge them and try to keep them in a place that is no longer okay, and so very, 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 very well done. And I enjoyed it, learned a lot myself. And and proud
And
of
the food was good too. The cheesecake was yeah, it's as good as it
Man,
looks.
I miss all the cheesecake.
Ooh.
I couldn't, and then when you're kind of hosting these things, you don't get to enjoy the food. I had a few bites of mine, but heard a lot of positive comments about the
Yeah,
cake.
kudos. Hey, hire that chef the next time you having something because he did a good job.
Yeah, everyone talked about that. I said, well, did you understand the message? Did you get it? We got the bellies full. It was a free event, and all proceeds from that, all the donations, all went to our newly formed Girl Scouts, Troop 2913. So there they are. Yeah, man. So that was just all around just a great event, and we'll be doing it again next year.
No doubt. Salute to this lady, one of our elder citizens, Miss Jet. That's what they call her, right?
Yes, Miss Jet.
And so she was one of the last surviving members of the people that went to not Rosemary Middle School, but Andrews Colored School, which is located at where the Armory is currently located at right now on Main Street.
Man, it was great to have her out there, and again recognizing. So you want to talk about history, and she can take you across several decades, and I think at least 8, maybe 9. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but a lot of wisdom, and it was a part of a lot of changes, and so it was an honor to have her there and to highlight her. And again, I didn't know anything about the Andrews Colored School. And again, I knew about Rosemary, which was all Black, and but I didn't know anything about the color school. And so it's good. It's always great when we can bring, and she can get out. She's full of fun. Look at her, very lively lady, and just a pleasure to be around.
Yeah, that was the town did a good job. Y'all put on a nice event. That was very well hosted. Again, the speaker was good, and it put the ball back into the court of the men in the town of Andrews, and what we need to be doing as far as stepping up, being more community oriented. Yeah, more community oriented. And I'm gonna tell you this right here. Salute to them fellas today that I talked to. And I told you about Mr. Chandler called me one morning about something he saw but I got today. So May, I got to figure out a day in May. We're gonna have our first community unity day on West Andrews, and because just regular guys from the community are like, man, we got to do something, and they're all like, oh, you want to be the leader, you want to be the, what I mean? So all right, here we go. They're like, we're gonna give you the money, you know what I mean? You got to do. So we're gonna get that money to Miss Veronica. I forgot to tell you, Veronica, you was already elected as the treasurer today. I'm sorry, we was talking about you, but it was all good.
But see, are we really then? I mean, of course, I love Veronica, but are we? Is this men led? Because I will tell you now. Go back a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Girl Scout was who?
All women. I got you.
You. The women, we had at the women's luncheon, women's history luncheon, professional women across the board, the medical field, attorneys, doctors, and Mrs. Howard, right? She is the vice president of Dominion Energy Economic Development. So we had some very, powerful, religious leaders. We had them all there, and so we need to take this thing and form it and become
absolutely. I'm with you on that. So Veronica, you just got fired. Speaking of these women, hey, so check this out, Elder Cooper. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to put a link. I'm gonna share this video right here, but in the meantime, I'm gonna put a link in the description on Facebook, and maybe you'll be able to click that link and be able to come on there. Okay, so let's try that. And if man, my phone's dead, so that ain't gonna work. Yeah, let's make
He
this work.
should be able to get it out of his the Dropbox, his inbox.
Yeah, it's in there also.
Yeah.
All right, so let me share this video. Speaking of the people that were there at the ladies, that the type of women that were there at this event.
Hi, my name is Brenda Dozier Perkins. I am the CEO and founder of Browns Ferry Community Outreach. We're a 501c nonprofit out in the Browns Ferry community. Our address is 8189 Shoppy Road, Georgetown, South Carolina, where we provide resources for the neighborhood. You can call me at 843-833-5770. We'll be able to connect you to resources or find someone that can help you. Again, we also have a Facebook page, which is Browns Ferry Community Outreach Nonprofit, where you can go and notify us as well. So please reach out to me. And this year, we are a part of the Palmetto Giving Day. It starts on May 7th and 8th, where you can go online and make a donation to Browns Ferry Community Outreach. So please support us whenever you can. Hello, my name is Marilyn Hemingway, Chair of the Georgetown County Democratic Party, and I'm delighted to be here at the Women's Lunch celebrating women's advocates for diversity, equity, and inclusion. It is so important that we come together because we're stronger together to improve our community, address our issues, and offer solutions. So I'm delighted to be here as Chair of the Democratic Party, Georgetown County Democratic Party, and I invite you to join us.
All right, and next week, the new Democratic chairperson of Georgetown County, Miss Marilyn Hemingway, will be on the show. I'm going to bring also on the Williamsburg County Democratic chairperson, who is Miss Moretta Wilson. So have both of them on next week to talk about. You know, we've heard it 100 million times, so one more time is not going to hurt you to hear about the importance of what you should be doing as a Democrat. You know, supporting your party, even if I don't support it or not, you should be.
Y'all get him started.
All right. Also, I just put it in the comment section there, Mr. Cooper. But since you're not here right now, we can do this.
Dear Georgetown County District 3 residents, are you ready for positive change in District 3? Meet Ernie Cooper, your dedicated advocate for a stronger, united community. Ernie Cooper is committed to unwavering integrity, ensuring that every decision made on the council reflects the values of our community. We want to hear from you. Ernie Cooper encourages you to submit your questions and concerns. Together, we'll build a council that truly represents the needs and aspiration of District 3, Georgetown County, where everyone plays a role. Ernie Cooper believes in fostering community involvement, ensuring that every citizen has a voice in shaping our future. We pledge transparency in every action. Ernie Cooper will keep you informed about decisions affecting our community, making sure you're always in the loop. Georgetown County thrives when everyone is equally represented. Ernie Cooper is dedicated to ensuring that every corner of District 3 has a say in the decisions that impact us all. Vote for Ernie Cooper, a leader with integrity, dedicated to communication, community involvement, and transparency. Together, let's build a Georgetown County Council that works for every resident. Your vote, your voice.
Yes. And so we are in the election cycle. What you got there?
All right. This is one of, I talked when I was in Dallas a couple of weeks ago. This is one of the books I had a thrill, being in Barnes & Noble. I don't get to see Barnes & Noble as often because they close a bunch, and the ones that, close that are a little bit too far away. But one of the books I picked up is called We Are Called to Be a Movement. And that's by Reverend Dr. William Barber II. And so really what it's about, it says time for everyone who cares about the state of this nation to heed the call and join forces to redeem the soul of America. It's time to come together and renounce the politics of rejection, division, and greed. It's time to lift up the common good, move up to higher ground, and revive the heart of democracy. In a single rousing sermon, so it goes on with that. But this is what this is really about. And again, regardless of what party it is, we should be able to, work things out for the good of the people that we're serving, man. And that's what real leadership is about. And so I'm reading these books, man, and hopefully we'll be able to get some of these, not necessarily this one, but anything like it is talking, that talks about coming together and restoring the heart of our nation. So that's me. I just wanted to share that with you.
No doubt. And the name of that book again is shared up here. It's called We Are
Called to Be a Movement.
Okay. There's a cover of it right there, and there's the author,
Reverend.
Reverend.
You captured that quick.
Yeah, Reverend Dr. William J. Barber II. All right, we might have to start us a book club here.
I know it. This is one I think you talked about. You're getting your hands on, I guess, to read if I can get this right. This is as I was preparing for Women's History Luncheon. You go back, you have to refresh yourself sometimes. And it says Women in Power by Mary Beard. It's her manifesto. So yeah, reading, and that's one of the things we are starting to lose. Our kids right now not reading well at the right levels. Those basic, skills, and it's horrible. Speaking, public speaking, those things. When we get our men's group together, or our, those are some of the things I think we need to spend a lot of time on. Is getting, it's just a confidence. When you see a kid looking at you, not looking at you when they're talking, they can't look you in the eye, or grown folk. There's something behind that. So we got to get them comfortable expressing themselves in the public, doing it in a way, with information and being informed, not just having a wild conversation. So just some thoughts off the top of my head.
No doubt. And that other title you just brought up is so guys, if you want to go pick these books up, they're going to be part of a future discussion at some point. Women and Power by Mary Beard. That's it right there, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And man, the book is only $5.49. So you get
Barnes and Noble's got me then. I should have bought it offline. They got me, but it's we'll see what it's all about.
No doubt. So we got the race is set for Georgetown County when it comes to the general election here coming up. I'm about to pull up this list of filings. We had some people pull out of the race.
It's some look. We're starting to look a lot like the national level politics. I think those were some strategic moves.
They got to be. I mean, all right. So let me ask you this. All right, let me get this list up here, and let's discuss this a little bit, because I'm like, wow, it's a bunch of backroom discussions going on in Georgetown County. Like, oh, you running too? Well, no, we can't both run. Like, it's almost to like what I'm seeing with this. Let's get this up on the screen here.
You start seeing the write-ins.
So that's not even listed here yet, huh?
It won't be. Yeah, not yet. I don't believe.
Okay. All right. So let's add this screen so you guys can see what I'm looking at here. And this is off of the Georgetown County candidate filing page. This is Georgetown County website. Georgetown County Council, Georgetown County website. And as you can see here from the top, Mr. Cooper, Mr. Ernie Cooper Sr., Democrat, District 3 County Council. Bob Anderson, District 2, Republican. We got a newcomer also in Craig Cumbie, a Republican, District 3. Carter Weaver, Republican for sheriff. And that's what I was saying. Like, I I thought there was nobody running against him, and then there was somebody running against him, and then all of a sudden yesterday, this guy, Mr. Burt Adams, a Democrat sheriff, he, as you can see here, this is the list of the candidates. This candidate has withdrawn. Hold on here.
Oh, so those guys pull out.
Hold on.
Something's going on here. I haven't seen this.
Hold on.
Like Mr. Travis Jones, I think he's the only one.
He's the only one that stepped away.
Yeah.
Okay, him and Theodore Brown for District 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm looking at it because what I saw it on the phone, and it made it look like everybody below this line.
Well, there is another guy that was mentioned to me that had withdrawn, but I see he's still on there. And actually, Mr. Agner, Jonathan is a sitting council member for the city of Georgetown.
So, in the event that he wins this, he would have to give up one of those positions, wouldn't he?
Yeah, and they'd have to have a special election.
To fill his that seat in Georgetown.
If he wins, yes.
Wow. So, but District 4 is
yeah.
Yes, they going that So you got Ron Charlton, who's going to be the Republican.
Yeah, he's the son of a former county council member who had served for an extensive period of time. But he lost to, I think it was Bob Anderson. But see, you got to look at this thing too. So you got to connect the dots. So District 4 was predominantly African American until the 2020 census. So if you go back, and so those lines are redrawn, and the numbers was out of whack, and so that's where the NAACP from the state level got involved, and they had to redo this number. And that was an interesting time for the county council and all those involved in those state level officials to get that right. And so now I haven't seen the numbers. So apparently, because you have now 3 candidates, 2 Republicans and 1 Democrat for that seat. That's
for District 4 is 4.
Right, 4 now.
Yeah, it's it was 5. So from here, you're looking at from bottom up, Mr. Charlton, Mr. Agner.
Yep.
Then Travis Jones dropped out.
He dropped out. I don't know.
Okay.
Him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There's another one that did drop out.
Well, see, 2 dropped.
Theodore,
so,
yeah,
so it was 5,
Theodore.
2 dropped out.
Okay, and so that leaves Mr. Milton and the 2 Republican candidates. So who is in 4 now?
Miss Olivia Jean Johnson.
Okay, so
she's not running.
So basically, this will put so basically the only primary face-off is going to be between the Republicans.
No, because yes, for that district,
for that seat, because there won't be
unless there's a write-in.
Okay, unless there's a write-in. I got you.
So he's going to have to campaign. I would assume he would campaign because again, this is the lead-in into the general election in November. So you may not have an opposition right now, but again, I wouldn't wait to get your face out there and your message out there to the people. So, and I think, Mr. Milton, good guy and a good friend of mine, and I'm sure he's well known, but can't take anything for granted in elections at any level. You got to put the work in.
So it looks like Raymond Newton's going to run uncontested for District 5 seat, unless we get a write-in candidate. Please, somebody write in. Please, somebody write in. You get free advertisement over here. Golly. I'm not biased. District 3. Of course, you got Elder Cooper, Ernie Cooper. Then you got the Republican Craig Cumbine, and you got Everett, Carolina. And Yeah, I said that with a little thing because I still haven't shared with you guys what happened with me and Everett Carolina that night. They wouldn't allow me to film at the meeting that they had in Sampit, and I'll tell you, man, I've been soul searching with that because I really got upset when they violated me like that, and I got upset to the point to where I had to like check myself, like, whoa, slow down, cuz. Slow down, cuz you about to, you about to. And so I'm going to get deep into that, guys. Probably one of this week. I'll pull up and let you guys see the full video of him violating my rights. You know what I mean? There ain't no other way to say it, of him violating my rights. So we'll get into that. But do you know anything about the candidate who's running for sheriff? I'm interested in that race, definitely.
No, I think we were in at some setting at some point, but I don't know him. I don't think I've ever met him.
A Democrat running for sheriff here in.
I'm told. I think he I was told he was in the ran for that position before. I can't recall over since I've been back home. I don't know him. So that position has been held, by very few people over a very long time.
Mm. And so, all right, some other positions that's up in Georgetown County that people got their hands in, their names in. Stephen Goldfinch for Republican State Senate, seat 34, State Senate 34, District 34. Lee Hewitt, Republican.
Both of those guys are incumbents.
Both of those are incumbents, okay. Ken Baker, Republican Auditor. Alma White, Democrat Clerk of Court. She's been there for a long time.
Yeah, she's been handling that for a long time.
Yep. Chase Ridgway. And listen, any candidates that's listening to this, please reach out to me, inbox me. If you're listening to it, inbox me, unless your name is Raymond Newton or Everett Carolina. Inbox me. And y'all can inbox me too. I definitely have y'all on. But come on, you know what I mean? If you want to get on and tell us about yourself, and why you're putting your hat in and doing what you're doing as far as getting involved with the government, wanting to put in the work. The coroner, Mr. Chase Ridgway, who Republican, just was in the news there a little bit when the two ladies were, when the one lady was pronounced dead prematurely in the last incident that took place in Georgetown County Detention Center. Miriam Mace, Republican treasurer, running uncontested unless there's a write-in. Lee Powers Bowen, Republican probate judge. Republican probate judge. And so all judges are elected, right?
No. I think like the magistrate, I think those guys are appointed. I don't want to get that messed up because I got you.
And what I'll do is I need to do some more research into that. All right. District 3, Audrey. Okay. Andre Evans and Mr. Milton.
Yeah, I think he's off the Penarol Road, I was told.
Okay, Carl Anderson seats up. Nobody's running against him for 103. It's interesting.
So one of my, you phone a friend, I just got inbox says the probate judges are elected.
Okay.
But Cynthia, go ahead and put that online there. We like folks to know. This is live. We go after it here.
This.
You got a guest coming on here soon.
Okay, not a problem. All right. Also, what's been in the news, and I saw that on that website too. I can go find it over there. But the deadline came for the submission of the capital project sales tax projects. Did you get your submissions in?
That's why I'm half asleep over here, man. We're cracking on. In fact, I spent half the day, my day on Easter, getting those things ready for submission. So we got them in last night. Midnight was the deadline. Got them in, and we'll see what happens from here. We'll talk about this thing because something occurred to me last night as we're putting this thing together. So let's say if this thing is projected for 8 years, and thank you, ma'am. 8 years, $80 to $100 million, and let's say there's only $40 million worth of projects coming in, and what happens to the rest of it?
Georgetown County, they do what they're doing with it now. They get to use it as
I give Miss Cynthia
campaign money.
That's Miss Cynthia McCormick out of Patrick, South Carolina. We didn't get her on here live one night.
Hey, there's a link in the section right there. You see where it says "Welcome to Andrews the Podcast" in the comment section. There's a link. You can come on tonight, Miss Cynthia.
So my good friends out of Patrick, and hopefully she'll be running for mayor here soon. But yeah, so then we need to have that conversation, because I don't think that's the intent of these type of monies is to be, it should go to, and I don't know, I haven't seen the list. I don't know if there's going to be enough projects that's going to consume, $80 to $100 million. So I would be interested in how would they then, get that back to what's she just raise. No, don't talk that language. Yeah, so what happens? It could be 60 million plus if we don't get, because it should be the way we're set up, you get your primary, then they have a continuation list of projects. But I'm not so sure, because it was a lot of detail to put into these proposed projects. And if you don't have an O&M, funded, how are you going to sustain this thing? There were certain blocks you had to fill out, and if you couldn't get, fill those ones that have the star by it, and then it would not be accepted. And that takes me back to the folks in the rural areas where they don't have a local government that can do that level of work, but they have the same needs. So I don't know who did that for them. We've had this conversation before, and just going through that process the last couple of days, that is a lot of work. I think I spent 4 hours, not 4 hours, but 3 hours kind of writing a narrative, because the narrative have to be succinct, that shows that this is an absolute, necessary project that's going to benefit not only the people in your community, but how is it going to affect across the county, which is tough. We talked about that before. But to get that, written the right way with the right, and that it hit all of those evaluation criteria to make sure that you're competitive, that you're in the top, whatever list, so you can be considered for these monies, that takes a lot of time. And then you have to now go through the input. There's about 15 different entry levels that you have to put data into. You're talking about engineer drawings, again, operation maintenance costs, how you're going to sustain this thing. Is it one of those things that the public would support? A lot of information. So,
hey, Don, you got to turn your camera on. It's saying here that they need to connect their mic and camera. What is it that he needs to connect, sir? This is Mr. Gilliard and the.
Oh, I'm okay. Not sure. I can't see him.
I see where he clicked the link, but it won't. It's saying that he needs. They will need to connect their mic and camera before you can add them to the stream. I don't even know what goes on in that process. I need to figure that out. So, from what you're saying is that, again, so the unincorporated areas, I doubt they had anybody do this level of work. Like when they were out in Sampit talking to them about, how they need to get their projects out, and then when they were out in the Dunbar area, that's the part that I felt was about this whole thing that was disingenuous. Not strong. That's a little strong. Disingenuous, misleading to the general person.
And I think I heard later, this through the grapevine that councilman and a couple other gentlemen were working on it. And I don't know what that means, because all of this stuff have to be input, on the system. And all that has to be, again, it wasn't hard copies that you submit or an email. You had to go onto the system that they developed, input this data into these specific blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get it all in there, satisfy the requirements, hit send, and it's there. But again, to make sure that you're competitive and you're answering the questions that, not correctly, but again, providing the information that's going to convince a panel of 6 that this is the most important project in this county. That's where the challenge is. Now, the good news, I'm told, we'll see, is that once they, rack and stack, or
what they being the
commission.
The commission.
And so then again, another thought as we were going through this thing, if that's the case, if it's based on their assessment, based on the criteria and how they rack and stack these things, or prioritize them, I should say, then I don't know why the county council would need so much time to go through them. If their job is just to say, okay, yes, vote, we vote on this list, then more time should be spent with the commission looking through these things carefully. But they have a deadline to get it to the county council, I think the first week of May. So they got about 30 days, maybe a few more, but to get it to the county council so they can go through whatever that process is. But I don't understand the process if they're not making any decisions other than just to vote on the list. You follow me? So something may not be, I'm not understanding.
I'm trying to find out, where is this excess list, so that we don't run into the surplus situation. Like you said, if there's only 4 or 5 projects presented and those total out to be $40 million and they collect $100 million, what happens to the $60 million?
Yes. So the way it was explained, there won't be any surplus, because I guess they anticipated that there's going to be, an endless list of projects. So then it could, potentially that will exceed the $100 million that they assume that we're going to collect. So then you have the list and it stays there, and it goes down however they order it. But if the process is so difficult, so cumbersome that people can't get those projects in by midnight last night because of all these things that they require, then you may end up with just a few.
I wonder, when is it going to be that information is going
Well,
to
we'll
be
know.
available?
Well, it should be Thursday, because they meet Thursday, continue with the meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and they will, an open forum, they'll go through the, start to evaluate these things in open forum, just like they've already started.
Okay. I got you. So where is this Thursday meeting supposed to be held?
I'm not sure, but I think the next week should be, I think, is in Andrews. But we'll check your notification. I don't know if they sent one out yet, but certainly we'll be in the audience. Let me see if I don't think I have it yet. But yeah, so this is not a done deal by any stretch of the imagination. And we can't take our eyes off of it. Yeah, I don't have it yet. I don't have the notification yet. But
Mm.
yeah, so that's interesting. So what happens? I mean, and I think then as they write this referendum, that part has to be addressed. And I don't think it's fair to, you know, everybody that whatever that money is, what's left over goes for the counties, you know, the county council's discretion.
Are they on a deadline that they have to have this? What's the deadline for them before they have to have this done and presented to have the referendum? I guess have the referendum written and presented to the people to be able to put on the ballot. Well,
I think the county councils, and again, I'm thinking out loud. I think it's August where they have to have it to the election.
Okay. In order for it to get on the ballot.
Right, for them to do whatever process. So they essentially have from May to August, which is more time than the commission have, who is doing all the work. If they don't have a dog in the fight in terms of determining where these, you know, how these projects are aligned, because it's based off of the criteria that's set and proved and how it's scored, then why are they taking so much time with the list? It doesn't make any sense.
I don't think the process is well thought out as they think they've because again, like you say, what's their purpose? What is their purpose? What are they going to do with the information in this time?
Their job is to vote on them. They have the three, you know, and that's a timeline for them because they have to have three readings. You know, and so then I get that. And now I'm not so sure if their policy allowed them to condense that timeline between readings, because you know the first reading is really just announcing that there's something on the books. That's the second and third. But I think it's a disadvantage to the commission, who's doing a great job, in my opinion, to put them in a tight crunch like that. Again, 30 days, you got to go through. I know we submitted in our 4 projects, there had to be there could be more than 100 pages of documents that they got to go through to read and you know, that we submitted, because again, being a municipality, having a professional engineer, you know, contracted, we were able to get these, you know, these sketches. And
I am interested in that part. That part I want to see Thursday. I'm interested in the level of detail put in by the other 2 municipalities, Georgetown, Pawleys Island. I definitely want to see that and see how.
Well, they should be. I mean, they should be good because you know, of course, Georgetown, the city has a much bigger staff, and they have, you know, I think. Yeah, I know they have a much bigger staff than we do. It's ours is very small. We just work hard. And Pawleys, I'm not so sure. I know it's not as big as ours, but they have a lot of assistants, I believe, that will come through the county.
They got a lot of money that they can hire somebody to do that.
Maybe, yeah, probably. But again, you start talking about like we're in Brown Ferry, and then it's this park thing. Something dealing with recreation, I think that Ms. Peloy had mentioned during that time. Or the young lady with the farm, you know, with Kidogo, those things, all of those fit, those ideas fit in within the list of things that you can, you know, apply these funds to. But who's doing the work?
The legwork. Mm-hmm.
The legwork. Now, here's the other part. That not everybody had access to the system. So there's very limited, like myself, the administrator, we can get on, you know, it's a closed system to the public, not just anybody can get on there. So then so for anyone in an unincorporated area, they're going to have to access through either, if it's a Parks and Rec thing, through Ms. Beth Goodall department, or if it's a, you know, public works kind of thing, then has to go through Mr. Ray Funny. Now, with all that you have going on, it's like us, you know, we got day-to-day operation that these same people are engaged in. Then did they have the time to take these projects, these unlimited projects, are ideas that's coming from the people to make, to input the data, collect the data, get it updated, uploaded. Because, of course, I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago, there was only one project submitted.
And again, that's what I'm looking at. I'm saying with this much detail, with this much information that they're requesting, I don't think there's going to be enough. I don't know. I'll see Thursday, but I don't think there's going to be enough projects submitted, especially again when we start talking about excess. You know what I mean? Like,
well, again, I'm hearing from the commission that that language is no excess. There's no surplus that's going to be had, because every project that is submitted should be on that list. So everything should have, here's that list. And as the money flow in over the 8 years or 4 years, whatever they decide to do, it will be allocated to these projects in a priority. So then you may have $200 million worth of projects and collect only 100 million, and that's where it stops. So there is no surplus to even discuss. But if you don't have that amount of, the number of projects, then you have money that's out here uncommitted.
I wonder if the Department of Revenue changed their policy. I wonder if they're going to go with the way
that's where it's coming from.
Where the way that where instead of sending the money, releasing all of the money to the county, you know what I mean? You basically got to submit invoices to
like we do with our standard grants.
Mm-hmm,
mm-hmm. Invoice, money sent down from the state. Now, again, that'll be, who's at state? Do they have the personnel to manage those things like that? Or do they entrust in the local government, down to the county level to do what's happening over the past, up until this point? You see what happened in Richmond County, you see what we're dealing with.
Absolutely.
So
it's a lot. South Carolina has not gotten this right. Okay. It's not just Georgetown County, but over South Carolina, they had a big thing in Conway. They had a deal in again Richland County with the 1 cent penny sales tax, with the spending the money on things that it's not allotted for. Same situation we got here in Georgetown County. And don't forget, I don't want to get negative Nancy, but there's still an active court case surrounding the first 1 cent penny sales tax in Georgetown County.
It is.
Yeah.
And then all of this thing can be worked out, adults come to the table and make it happen. But it is what it is right now. But I'm focused on this. We'll see how this.
Any kind of giving us an idea of what Andrews is shooting for?
Yeah, we at our last council meeting, the staff presented a list of projects or categories for the city council or town council to approve. So number one was, I think, the water.
Oh,
water
so you
project.
didn't select this by itself.
No.
How they say you changed the plans for the building.
Yeah.
Okay, because you get blamed. You get blamed for a lot for that $600.
I know, it's all. Hey, that's what leadership is all about, man. You got to carry the heavy load.
No. So you said you the council voted on some projects.
The council voted on 5 categories, and again, there was water, sewer, storm drain or storm flood mitigation projects, and then there was recreation, and then there was also a facility that's badly needed for our public works. Yeah, she's right. It all come out in the wash. But yeah, so we voted on those projects, unanimously voted on that on that list, and that's what we. Now we also have some other efforts going on to address some of these things. Of course, we can't wait, because the other thing we have to be mindful of is that the collection period, if this thing is voted on and passed, the collection period doesn't start until, I think it's May of 2025. So then that period for collection, and if you're not in the first 10 million, it's going to be 2026 before you see any funds. And so the things that we submitted, which are critical to public safety and that kind of business, we can't wait that long. So we have to parallel plan and look at, continue to take advantage of the grants as they cycle through to keep improving our systems.
There's a sign, and I don't have it. Obviously, my phone's dead now, but there's a sign coming into the town of Andrews. I don't know if how many people have noticed it, but it's the EOD. I took a picture and sent it to you the other day. Have you found out any more information about that?
I think it was
economic
EDA.
EDA.
Economic Development, Administration, I believe it is. I reached out to one of our delegates, and they are familiar with one. I'm not sure the one that he's familiar with is in the park where you've done some work in that park, or there's another one. No one. So he's doing some research on that now, but no one's brought it to my attention, other than you. And so where the sign is positioned and where it's facing, it's can assume that whatever that is going to be happening inside of the city limits of Andrews or somewhere close by. But I don't know what it is. And for that to happen, and again, it's with the president's signature, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Again, like you say, and where they got it located, I don't lose sight of the fact that it's just outside of the town limits. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I haven't, I thank you, ma'am. I will probably reach out to the state, before the end of the week to find out, what's going on, because we like to be prepared. Again, if they're going to be tapping into our water and sewer system, or whatever it is, it's going to, we want to know. We want to know. You see, right now we have major construction, roadside walks and those things going on in town right now. We're in the process right now of improving. I don't know to what level, improving the signs and the traffic lights right there at Morgan and Main Street. So, because we get a lot of traffic come through here. Some of the big trucks, not supposed to, but they're coming anyway. So they've elevated the traffic lights, install a new power box, because where that power box is right now, that's been knocked down several times in the last 8 years, and that's very dangerous, obviously. So they're moving that now over to across the road, so that it won't be in direct contact if someone decides to come and turn, with these big trucks, because they take up all of the space. The roads are not laid out for that kind of traffic.
Hey, Mr. Cooper, tomorrow, I don't know what your schedule is, but one day tomorrow or the next day, I need to get you in studio.
Come on down to the studio. It's only about seven blocks away.
Yeah, I'm in here right now. Something you just said that I wanted to say. Okay, yeah. So why can't the trucks? Why does the town not want the trucks, the 18-wheelers, to come through and drive through town? What's the big thing about that? What's the big problem with the trucks coming in? Because they want to come in and they want to spend money. That's usually what I hear them say after they get caught coming in. But you know what I mean? They want to come in. They want to patronize the businesses in town. So what's the problem with the trucks coming through? What's the big problem?
Okay, well, let's start off with what the law says. Okay, so we all know, or we should know, these roads are state roads. Okay, the signs along these roads that governs our traffic moves, the speed, all that's set by the South Carolina Department of Transportation. That's the first thing. So the municipality or the county, we cannot change those rules. We cannot change those speed limits. We can't change, no trucks along these things. So those are set in place by the South Carolina Department of Transportation. The town's concern is that that's one thing. So police officer, if that's the law, then it has to be enforced. Now, second thing, for us, we have our infrastructure is very old. Okay. That's why we're talking about, our priorities in this 1 cent sales taxes to upgrade these pipes.
And
now,
when you say infrastructure, you're talking about the things
water and sewer lines.
Okay.
Water and sewer lines that are very old, very fragile. And so if you get a 90,000 pound truck that's coming through, that's gonna cause those things, which they have. That's why that accounts for a lot of the leaks, because it's heavy equipment coming over and vibrating these rusted pipes and causing these. Not all of that is to the trucks. So that's the town's concern, because we don't get any additional tax dollars or anything to maintain these systems. So as we're trying to get them replaced as quickly as possible. We're talking about 25 miles of water lines and sewer lines that in many cases are buried, are very shallow under the roads. Now, but we understand too that trucking business in this area is probably the number one employee of our citizens in the county, probably Williamsburg County too. So we understand, and we are working with. That's always been the thing. If you're coming in and to do business, then because they got the tire places here, we have we have 3 parts place: Napa, O'Reilly's, and Advance Auto. So that's understandable. So those vehicles can come in. Now, what we have to figure now, the other thing is these roads are not designed for the turning and maneuvering. I'm less concerned with Main Street, 521. Those are the big pipes. They're buried farther down. But when you start getting on Beach, far, and inside of the neighborhoods, then those things are very shallow. I wish we could show them the conditions of Beach when we open that road and begin the new pipe system and placing the pipe system. That road already had from Main Street to Gapway, which is about 5-6 blocks maybe, already had 15 patches over a year's time. 15. And that 2-inch line was rusted out. I remember coming here, there was one house, I won't call the gentleman's name, but his water pressure was so low for years. And I remember him coming here on Father's Day to my house and say, hey, we got to do something about this. I had no idea. I said, well, how long has it been going on? I went into his house and it had zero pressure, because right there in front of his house was a leak that was ongoing for years. It had already washed out all of the sand from under. So that surface was just, an accident waiting to happen. So and a lot of the heavy trucks come through. So think about that. So now who's liable? We're talking about liability. So beyond the repairs and those kind of things is a liability there. So if you cave in and have this accident, hurt people, or vehicle, is taken off road into somebody's house because there's houses right along there. Just think about, those are the things that we have to think about when this happens. I've seen trucks, heavy trucks, and not our local guys. I'm just talking about folks who hate to go around the bypass coming through town. And I know, a lot of the local drivers, it's not them, but how does the police officer don't know who is who? Mm-hmm. So we got to work some things out. And Chief and I have spoken. What we want to do is have a forum that will have DOT, state guys, our local guys, so we in our trucking industry, so we can come to an agreement and potentially figure out a route that you can get in here safely without, damaging any of the infrastructure, those things. And I think that's possible, but we also got to think about, like Piggly Wiggly. Piggly Wiggly is in the neighborhood, mm-hmm. So it's off the beaten path. Napa is just slightly off of it. Everything else pretty much is on Freeman's Tire is on the main drag. Now, and maybe the other part of that is that someone will create a parking place where they can drop their trailers and bobtail in. So if you can drop there, let's say, for example, if Fuel Depot had enough space and they want to create a parking space, I guess, for a fee for these people, for the folks who are in this industry, that would make sense. And then you drop your trailer at Bobtail in if you live in the town. But if you don't live in the town, we just got to figure that out. But it's not an easy solution. We've operated off of some myths over the time, that if you come in and go to buy something, you can go. A lot of them don't do that, and some do, but some don't. But then how do you the officers don't know who they are. So it's not a hard and fast thing now. They're working with folks, as they come through. And that's where we are right now. But it's really a cost, because if you to do the level of repair that we have to, you're talking anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 every repair if it was a contract. But our guys are doing all that work, and they're doing a great job. So it's a situation that we're going to have to come to and understand. And so hopefully we'll have that forum and everybody come out and we can have a conversation about that and then put in some reasonable measures.
No doubt. Speaking of police officers, you guys had another officer that graduated from the academy this week.
Yes, Officer Lede graduated. We're very proud of him. Lisa was recently. Got two other officers right now, or cadets now, going through the program. So again, Chief Cockrell and Major Chandler doing a great job in rebuilding the department, and they're getting after it. And again, we still rely on coverage from the sheriff's department, which again we appreciate that. And but it's tough business to grow a department, but they're getting it done. Yeah,
and so I spoke with a citizen who was in court this past week, and he was one of the people who was stopped in Andrews by Georgetown County Police Department, and some issues because there was a lot of people in there for some petty stuff, like just petty stuff, and I'll get into that at another point. So I mean, we're closer now to having our own force filled out here.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We're definitely getting there. Go ahead.
And just so folks know, because I'm sick of people saying, "Well, they don't got no police officers." And how much officers is the town of Andrews budgeted to have?
That organization.
That's what it's based on. It's based on the budget, right?
Well, based on first in the organization structure, which is determined by the council, that's been set in place for years. Right now, our organization structure calls for nine officers in a small town that is 2.2 square miles. Okay. The difference. So that's it, and so that budget is built based on that structure. Now we're looking for opportunities to grow that, but again, to change the organization structure, we'll have to take that back to the city. I keep saying city, the town council. So that's how we budget. The challenge for Andrews is because now if you're a municipality that is off the beaten path, we sit on the border of two counties where Waynesburg and Georgetown, there are areas that we can't. Again, ours is 2.2 square miles. Everything on the outside is county, either Waynesburg County or Georgetown County, which influence a lot of what goes on inside the town limits. So if we were off the beaten path, 9 would be more than enough, but 9 is not enough. And you look at the rotation that they go through. So you wear an officer out. So we're going to have to grow this department. So as we improve the water system, because right now about $160,000 to $200,000 out of our general funds goes to water and sewer, because over the years the water system had not been maintained. So we got it now, and so it's not generating the revenue to sustain it. So about $200,000 or less. Used to be home a lot more in the last few years. That money goes there. So imagine if I have an additional $200,000 once I get the water system up to where self-sustain, then that money can go towards, things that the general fund is dedicated to, and that'll be most likely personnel. As opposed to we're doing well with equipment, we are leveraging grant dollars to get equipment in, and then use the money that we generate, the revenue we generate, to sustain the departments. And that's kind of the method I use.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, let me see here. Run through this here real fast. Boom, 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 boom. Any events or anything you want to announce coming up with the town of Andrews?
Well, I know Bishop Shackelford and Jeremy Wright are working for this prayer walk on, I think it's the 24th of April. I think that's still in progress. I know they have had some family at death. It kind of threw us off on the planning, but I believe those guys are still going. And that's, of course, you talked about the autism walk and program. We know about the Riding Divas. Exactly. So that will kick off, I think, on the 27th.
27th of April.
Yeah.
Yep.
So. Yeah, so it's a lot going on. It seemed like April, I know just got here, but it's filled with a lot of things. And there's a couple other events that I can't recall right now. That, yes, of course, the after school, Miss Veronica McCrae is going to head that up. And so it's going to be a lot going on in town. As it warms up, getting close to the end of school. So we see a lot happening.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So tomorrow I'm going to give you a call, Mr. Donald. We're going to figure out how, whenever I send you that link, you'll be able to get on there. Also, same thing with you, Mr. Cooper. But I tell you what, man, just got to plan this thing out a week ahead. We all need to come in and have a sit down face to face, everybody around the table and have that powwow. I'm gonna send out invitations for the week after next.
The bridge run is this Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll be out running in the Cooper River.
What time does that take place?
Oh man, I think the run starts at 8 that Saturday morning. And so yeah, it's gonna be painful. I've been out riding bike and anything I can do to kind of motivate myself to get out here and increase my endurance. I've been trying to get after it, but it's probably a little bit too late to be. Well, I've never been competitive in the run. I just enjoy the run. You're talking 40,000 plus people out there. Show people a little bit, a little on edge because it's a bridge, and of course they had that tragic situation in Baltimore. But you got to stay prayed up and get after it, man. So we'll be out there Saturday morning.
Man, 40,000 people. I just said, man, that's a lot. The interviews, I'll be able to interview all kinds of people.
And that's one of the cool things about it. You'll see all of the news, the radio, news stations, and everybody along the bridge. You see all of the first responders, music along the way. DJs live. It's just, and then you get into the city of Charleston, and they have all the stuff to help you recover, the food, that stuff, and then they have a live band and I should call it the park. I can't recall exactly what it is. Yeah, there it is. That's it right there, man. And I think I've been doing this for the last 6-7 years.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. It's been a lot of money, getting all the cool gear. So this is what I use every year to buy me a new pair of running shoes. I use that excuse, and then they sit. I don't run as much as I used to, but I'm gonna change it.
It says here, fundraising organizations right now, they are at $49,585.25. And here's some of the organizations: the Alzheimer's Association, American Cancer Society, Camp Rise Above, Carolina Children's Charity, Low Country Food Bank, MUSC, Cancer Center, MUSC Jenkins Children's Hospital, Palmetto Military Support, Pet Helpers, Ronald McDonald House Charities of Charleston, Special Olympics of South Carolina, the Green Heart Project, Water Mission, Winwood Family Services. And you can, there's.
And you know what's cool too? I mean, of all these people out there, I often run into people, from, years back. People travel all over for this thing. Last year was pretty interesting as I was, laboring to get across the finish line. I saw this guy I recognized, and I'm like, oh man, now here's where the race starts, the last block, because I can't let this guy beat me in. It was the former school superintendent of school district in Georgetown County, Mr. Dozier. So yeah, that's when the race started. I saw him ahead of me. I was like, oh no, this can't happen. So we sprinted across. I think I got him by a step or two, and so that was my bragging rights. Now the other 40,000 who beat me in, they don't matter, but it's a good time. So we can, it is a lot of fun. It's gonna be painful afterwards, but it's a lot of fun.
No doubt. I want to be out there, but I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get across the bridge to the other side. Do they let us drive across? Or?
Oh no, everything is shut down. Now there's the race starts in Mount Pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
No. Yes, it starts in Mount Pleasant. Go across the bridge into North Charleston, and it bobs and weaves all the way, to the finish line, and that's where everybody is. So then it depends on what end you want to be. All the celebration on the other side. The build up obviously is at the start line. And so you have, and this is the race where a lot of these world-class runners, they come out and get their time, because their time counts in terms of qualifying for other races.
Like
so
the Boston Marathon and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. It's like, where it'll take me an hour and a half, if not more this time. You got guys finishing in less than 30 minutes, 6.2 miles.
Yeah, and so I just looked that up because I didn't know what 10K was, 10 kilometers. Because we don't.
European, yep. That's 6. I think it's 6.2, right?
Yeah, 6.2 miles.
Yeah. And see, I used to run the half marathons. I'm not. Okay, somebody. Okay.
That's Yada. She know I ain't about to run across that bridge. I might set up on the finish line.
But and then people will come out, like groups will come out and they'll have the costumes.
Yeah, that's what I definitely want to be a part of that.
Kids
I see
out
that,
there
for different organizations, they come out and I guess they raise money. So, is there a fee to run? To join
so
the race?
entry. So like as soon as I was finished last year, I signed up. I think it's like early registration. I think it was 60, maybe $60 or something like that. So you can imagine 40,000 people. You're talking almost $3 million just for registration.
Just for registration, yeah.
Yeah, and then so the night before, like Friday night, they have this expo. So down at the Charleston Convention Center, you have all these vendors out there. Another great event. So you have all these vendors, all of the sports places and car dealership, you name it. The people are in this big convention center, and it's that's where you go and pick up all your registration. I mean, all of your your run placard and all that other good stuff. Get your T-shirt, whatever little. They typically give you a T-shirt as part of your registration packet.
Swag pack.
Oh man, but it is real cool, and so yeah, and so after that, then you get out and do enjoy and fellowship, and you meet a lot of people, a lot of friends along the way, make new friends, because you're going to see them, you're going to see them over and over because you run a little bit, walk a little bit, and you see people passing, and then you see kids, that got, all the wind in the world that just keeps getting it, man. These 10, 11-year-olds, they run that whole thing in no time, just kind of flopping around, and old dude like me just struggling. There was I think the guy was 80 some odd years old and carrying a flag, and he was out there getting after it.
Yeah, Mr. Cooper, that's the only way I'm doing it. I mean, I might jog a few steps or whatever, but
Yes, you can walk. You can walk the entire time.
Because the way I see it, if I do any running, it's gonna be on the downside of that hill. I'm not trying to run, not trying to run up that hill.
And as obviously you have a different perspective when you're on the ground as opposed to driving. So it's just a sea of people. And you're taking in, the scenery. I remember my daughter and I walked across the Ravenel Bridge and she spotted dolphins. I didn't know dolphins was out there.
Oh yeah.
And she spotted a whole, school of them. And so it's just cool. You can just see things from a different perspective and have fun.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mr. Cooper. That's me right there. I'll be right there walking with you.
Oh, there's plenty of walkers. I will be one. I know I'm going to walk. I'm going to try to get in at least 3 miles. I'll do as much as I can running, but I'm just not in the shape I used to be, and I'm going to fix that.
No doubt. So maybe we need to bring a run back as a part of because that was a big part of the Chubby Checker, the good old days back in the day. They had a 2K, I think it was a mile and a half, something like that. But that should be a part of homecoming weekend, because one of the things we did, especially when we played Georgetown, this was a homecoming weekend. But one year the game ball would either be ran by runners from Andrews to Georgetown or vice versa. And so,
okay.
And they had it timed out to when, right at kickoff, the runners are coming into the stadium with the football.
Really?
Yeah, it was nice, man. It was nice. Yeah. And so
from Georgetown to Andrews?
From the most memorable one, of course, is when we went to Georgetown. We won also too. But
that's important. Yeah, we got to do that.
Yeah, they had and what they did, they had 2 sets of runners. They had one set run to the 9-mile curve, pass it off to another set, and then it was cool because as we coming on the bus, we saw them running and all that stuff like that. And so, but yeah,
I think we need to talk about it, because now one thing we were working, or at least conceptually thinking through, is that as Anytime Fitness opens, I think at the end of April. One of the things we're going to propose them is to have establish this 5K, and so from where Anytime Fitness across and around the ball field, I measured that out a couple of weeks ago. It's a mile. So we look at something where we can create a fun run, and again, getting after this healthy thing. And I just learned yesterday that we have a health juice store, something of that, that's coming to town. It's going to be right across from First Citizens Bank. So they'll have coffees, healthy drinks. Young man, I think out of Georgetown, I believe that's the owner, but that will be opening soon. And so so these things, when you say a run, it's actually all of them run, walk, or and one of the events we had here, we had a run, walk, and bike. We want to get people out and get healthy. And again, I'll put my face on the cover of it, because I've got to get back to it.
Hey, Councilman Cooper over there on memory lane. He see himself on that lead off on that 4x1. He had to let you know I was that point man.
I didn't know that. Okay. Now I remember him playing football. So he played football, and he was 81. Yeah, he's class of 81. So I remember him out there on the football field trying to get after it. I didn't know he was a lead man on the 4x4 or 4x1?
4x1.
That's a tough race, man.
Hey, that anchor and that start off, man. That's the
yeah. I remember the days when my nephew used to run, man. That's what got me so deep in the track and field. But that's we may have there's Olympics for seniors too. So whatever it takes to get out and get healthy, get moving again. It's especially the way we eat, unhealthy. you gotta get yourself moving and just to be able to balance that out. And again, I'm talking to myself first, and so that's what we want to do. March Madness.
Yeah, man. Listen, I watched Caitlin Clark. Golly, man.
She killed him, huh?
That girl put on a show last night, man.
Listen.
I mean, LSU looked at they looked at sluggish, and coming out of the half, Iowa went right at them, pushing that ball up, and they kept beating them back, you know, on in transition. Now, you know, Andrew Reese and them balled out. Now, I felt like if LSU had went through number 14, they should have started that offense through number 14 because she was unstoppable at a point. You know, and then
look, I watched the game and I didn't realize until the guy says she's like 30 points. I'm like, it's just effortless.
Effortlessly.
She's assassin, man.
Now my homeboy said Caitlin is actually Christian Clark. Now, but he kept.
I'm not following him up.
Listen, he is convinced because he was like, think about the name, Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn, come on, man. But hey, listen, that lady.
He believed that.
Hey, he's convinced of that last night.
And she's a bad girl.
She's at advertised, man. I was blown away, and I'm like, and she was throwing them shots up. I'm like, that ain't going net. Come back down, you know, and the ball. I mean, and all phases of the game, the girl is good at. The lady's good at is, you know, passing. Yeah, she's as advertised now. There's a big debate on whether or not she should take that $5 million Q offering her to go to the Big Three as opposed to go to the WNBA because they're saying
yeah.
They say when she get to that WNBA, them girls, them sisters gonna drag her. That what they say.
No. Listen, that young lady is the truth. She is the truth. That's the bottom line. I haven't been watching over time. Because last year again, you know, with all the hype. I mean, I'm excited for women's basketball. Yeah. So yeah, she's just fundamentally sound, and smart. Think about it now, and see everybody want to, you know, say, hey, she's a Larry Bird. Well, she could be the Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, all those jokers who could shoot, you know, create opportunities for the other players and pass. She had 40 points with over a dozen assists.
Listen, I remember vaguely Cheryl Miller. I definitely remember Candace Parker. I definitely remember Shamika Holsclaw.
Yeah.
I definitely remember what's the other lady name that could shoot the lights off from Connecticut. But anyway, I've never seen and here's this thing right here. Here's a statement that I probably never would have thought I'd ever hear myself saying. I haven't watched a men's basketball college game, tournament game. None.
I'm not interested. It's not exciting.
The storylines is not, you know what I mean, just not there. Now, I'm gonna tell you, they did the LA Times is doing some hit pieces on my girl. Now, I'm a fan of LSU coach Kim.
I'm sure I knew you would.
Hey, Kim, she's always been gritty, tough. You know what I mean?
But I'm good with them. I even the Reese girl. See,
yeah,
we want to judge these young folks, and you know, and put them in a category. Listen. These are young people. Yeah. I think as long as they don't be disrespectful and do things that hurt each other, man, it's just competitive. Now, when the guys get out here and rough it up and get into scuffles and talk trash on and off the court, we're good with that. Young ladies get on here and do the same thing.
Listen, that game I watched last night.
It's sports.
And I've been watching ladies basketball. I admit it. You know what I mean? I'm just go ahead and fess up to it. I've been watching. You know what I mean? That game takes me back to the basketball that I love. Strategy, pick and roll. You got the big girls down there working and fighting down in the post. The game is actually more physical than the NBA. I'm just gonna keep it real with you, right? Because me and somebody was having a discussion about shooters. Steph Curry, obviously one of the greatest shooters. Then I say, I don't know, because if you go sit and watch just two shooters from back in the day, you go watch how Reggie Miller had to get the things he had to do just to get his shot off.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at him, and then you look at man, from right there from Sumter, Ray Allen.
Oh, I didn't realize he was from something.
Yeah, Ray Allen's from Sumter, South Carolina.
Isn't that the other guy that's in the league?
Morant.
Yeah. John Morant.
Yep. And you look at those guys and what it took for them, and they were great shooters during the time of the hand check. Come on, man. Steph them wouldn't survive during the hand check era, man. Not them little, you know what I mean? Just the physical part of the game. And so that was it felt good watching that last night, man. That was good now. And that girl put on the show. Caitlin is
Caitlin put and again, you know, this young lady had 17 points, 20 rebounds. That's a pretty good night.
Oh, yes. Now she didn't
but
you know what I mean? Angel
Caitlin was it.
Yeah, she put LSU, you know, and she was hurt. She wasn't 100, which during this time of year, nobody's 100. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I thought that spoke a lot to her, because she was hobbled a large part of the night. You know, you could I obviously see she was limping.
Yeah.
But she toughed it out. And I love that about when people could focus and.
But here's the difference, and that's where one player like the caliber of Caitlin is that pure shooter, handle the ball. She can score from any place on the floor.
Yeah,
that was a limit, in my opinion, on LSU.
Yes. That's
inconsistent.
If they meet South Carolina, would South Carolina fix that problem? Because that's how they beat up on South Carolina last year. South Carolina can shoot the ball now. If you can't shoot the ball with them, you will lose.
Hey, I just shut down, make the other two, they had two other players on the team, 20 points and 19 or something like that. But listen, I would box her up and make her work for every shot.
Well, and that's what Kim Mulkey was saying about you got, that's a generational player. You know what I mean? I mean, who putting their hands? This girl shooting from the damn logo. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not defending that.
Hey,
you know, and so like Kim said, you're not going to stop her. But the problem was, she made two more players play. Come step up at the same time. So.
Because they weren't trapping her.
Yeah,
you gotta. Hey, find that defensive specialist on your team, a couple of them, because again, she has endless wins. She's always on the move. You're gonna have to trap her and make somebody else beat you.
I don't know why they didn't switch Flage on her earlier. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm looking forward to see her, Juju. What's the girl name? Juju Watkins from USC.
Freshman.
That girl look like Carmelo. That's Carmelo Anthony's daughter now. He might not have claimed her, but that's that boy, child. I see why him and Lala had problems. That boy got him a baby out there. Because that girl, man, listen.
But look at the skill. I mean, look at, these girls can play with some of the guys, to be honest with you. Not from the physical up, but in terms of just
skill set.
Skill, understanding, because it was not. We didn't have this level of skill, especially when the WNBA came. You had one or two players that were standouts. You find them now where you can have a starting five that all could score 15, 20 points.
Yeah,
it's exciting. And it's about time, because now you have the revenue that's oh Lord, what's going on? Yeah, she did. She ran the floor, and if she can see the floor, she knows she can score when she wants to. So then you come out, get up on her, then here's somebody streaking down, down the court for a layup, and that's what makes makes her special. She's gonna get hers, but she's gonna get other people involved, and
yeah. She
now it's gonna
coming
be
down
tough.
that court. She coming down that court head up, and I'm talking about that's.
Now, and as the other ones,
No, she's saying that I'm a doctor now, coming out the DNA. Listen, the one thing I know about DNA is that's mama's babies, papa's babies.
oh God, yeah, man. So, but then let's not forget about our home team. Exactly. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. See, I got to it first. Okay. So that now, see, I'm concerned. Now, two teams that I think, Iowa, certainly. We can't sleep on North Carolina State. You can't. Obviously, you can't sleep on UConn, but you have some real live players that moves and you see. I think that was, to me, North Carolina State has a lot of what you see in Iowa in terms of live active bodies, man, all over the place, and this moves. Seem like our girls they run the floor, but I think we get most of what our scores, our points on the inside, which is good because we got some towers in there now, so it's going to be interesting. But then you got Dawn Staley who can figure it out, and she better.
Yeah, and they got this. This is definitely going to be the challenging part now because, again, we got to be able to shoot that ball. And the SEC women's basketball brand of basketball is a physical brand of basketball. That's your ass got to be tough to play in women's basketball in the SEC.
And I think that's what's going to get Caitlin when they start banging, because these girls don't mind putting body on you and roughing you up.
They're going to have to. I said that last night. I'm like, I'm sorry. I ain't trying to hurt you, but boy, we got to change the trajectory or something like.
Hey, somebody said last night, they said something to the fact about Mason. They need to Mace. They should have thought about Mason, old girl. Like, man, anything to stop her. And they were saying, I know in jest not physically do that, but figure something out to stop this young lady from just killing y'all.
Yeah, but listen, the girl, you're gonna have to pick her up soon as she get up the car at the gym, because her range is in the gym.
You see at the end of the game, she was dropping them from deeper. It was a statement.
Yeah, I thought that part, because at a point I'm like, why is Caitlin still on the floor?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay.
They say it wasn't any, revenge.
Oh, she's an athlete. You can say what you want to say. You beat me like you did, and then doing all this stuff like that. Now, I thought that was big that she never looked at Angel. You know what I mean? She never even, she took the high road. But
that's the confidence. I'm gonna come back and kill you with, them beat you on the floor.
Yeah, do that. All she had to do was point, scoreboard.
Yeah, and then let Andrews the podcast talk about it.
Wow, man. Yeah, that I look forward to that.
They gotta rough her up. They're gonna have to use all the fouls, boxer, frustrator, and just make it a miserable game for her.
So the Final Four is set now. So it's USC, South Carolina versus North Carolina State.
Yep.
And Iowa versus
UConn.
Yeah, it's probably gonna sound a little racist, but that white girl with the two braids down, I forgot her name for UConn. That girl balls too now.
Oh, this is gonna be, but it's Friday night.
Yeah,
it's gonna be real, and I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, well, and I think, man, there's a renaissance of ladies basketball. I think we're in a new era of it. You know what I mean? Well, the attention now is focused. Is shifted.
It has,
and I like it.
But look at, not only now, these ladies have been always skilled, but it took what happened last year in the final in the final game, the whole Caitlin Reese, you know, to bring attention to it.
But it has to have that
And I'm
element.
okay with that.
Yeah, we got to have that element
Yeah.
to it. You know what I mean?
And
You
now
know,
you're
like-
seeing the skill set. But so don't criticize them. This is a game.
Yep.
Now, here's the other part of that, I think, is you know, because now you're having all these millions and millions of viewers, revenue coming in. Are they going to be compensated?
Yes, they are. They old Angel is getting paid. That's the other part that I'm watching, because there's going to be a effect of, and I'm not one that says the players don't deserve. I've always said the players deserve to be openly paid. Let's just say that, because
Yeah, they were getting paid all the time.
you know. But I also, you know, there's caution, a lot of caution in that, because you're going to be giving young people access to a lot of money, you know, with not necessarily a lot of supervision. Well, not so much, but control. I mean, they're at college, they're able to, you know, they're rich, you know, some of them, because they're making good money, you know, making good money in these NIL deals. I just hope moving forward, this thing doesn't blow up and we lose, you know, and a lot of kids fall victim to this. You know what I mean? Mentally.
Well, you see where Ice Cube is offering Caitlin $5 million to come and play in the
big three.
Big three. $5 million off the top. And so, you know, as I understand, it was brought to my attention that Ice actually sued the NBA or WNBA because they were trying to prevent this from happening.
The NBA stopped when that big three first came out. Players were talking about it. You see players in the league with big three shirts and hats on, and at some point they said no. The powers that be said no.
Yeah, and I let folks make money, man.
Hey man,
look at it. I mean, there's so much money being made. We look at what the players, I mean, through concession park, it is obviously a multi-billion-dollar business. And if these players who are only going to play for, you know, a certain amount of years, you know, provided, you know, they don't get hurt and not, then how much is that worth? You know, so if they can get paid on, you know, what is it, name, like, and image or whatever that is, let them go. Because, but to your point, like in Reese's, you have to have a balance, because sometimes, I mean, it's frowned upon to be too, you know, like she took it over the top a couple of times, but again, she's
got to give her grace. I mean, they got to, you know what I mean? And again, just that balance, because you look at the kid that's in the NFL now from they're looking for him as of yesterday, when they were looking for him, the wide receiver from Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
At that Lamborghini down there in Dallas, and they whoever was driving it ran away from the scene, and so, you know, they're looking for him because it's, you know, in his name or whatever. But it's just, you know, and these young people, again, and young people aren't always going to make. I mean, not even old people are going to make the best decisions all the time. So,
right,
yeah, we'll see how this shakes out. Again, it's going to be good. It's going to be bad. You know, it's just going to be life, I guess. Yeah, but let me bring this here back up real fast. Mr. Cooper said he played on the Edgeside football team that played for the state championship game on our home field. They lost 40-0 though.
Yeah. Kennedy Cooper, I wouldn't, you know, that's cool, but yeah, 40-0. I remember that game. I was a young cat. I think I was playing JV back then, but Woodruff was a
powerhouse.
Oh my God. My brother-in-law played Rodney, you know, he played during that time, Rodney Johnson. We had some pretty big guys back there too, but Woodruff came out of there like college team. And as he said, you know, I think that was a game that every every score is a cannon or something that went off. And so, man, I think they ran out of ammunition. You had to have a resupply.
Oh man.
Had to call it ammo truck.
Only thing I know about Woodruff, South Carolina, is that's where Tony Rice, who played quarterback for Notre Dame, for Lou Holtz, running that options from up there in Woodruff.
Yeah, my buddy's a mayor up there, one of the guys, and he reminds me of that 40-0 win back in the day. So yeah, but we had some awesome players. Many of those guys I think probably should have made it to at least D1, but that's a whole nother conversation on our
and I'll be getting into that with some of these players this week. We're gonna chat it up Thursday.
Hey, somebody's sending us an inbox.
What you got? All right, so man, listen, man. I'm about to shut it down here. This is the #1 podcast show in.
Hey, and we're going to get Patrick on here at some point. Yeah. Hey, you guys. Hey, look, you made it to the state. You didn't make it to the state game.
I mean, that's
huge.
Yeah.
We made it. 1982. We made it to the lower state and lost the last 6 seconds. So we all have some good memories in those, but the ending was just not good. So now we applaud you, Mr. Cooper. That's big time. And I think I don't know of any other time we went to in our history.
No.
It's the only time I think we played for a state championship.
No, we got that on Davion and I put that on Davion and AJ, them boys back, y'all.
Yeah, I think these guys can get there, man.
Yeah.
I think I called it that old sophomore class, rising juniors are.
Yeah.
And
I think we got some of the best. I know we got some of the best in 2A. Just we just got to put it together this year, and I think we'll be able to get it done.
We're in a different different
region.
I don't know how it's going to play out, but
we down there with some big boys. So I mean, it's we gonna know early. We got Philip Simmons and all them boys on the schedule, so we'll know early.
I think we'll get them.
Yeah.
All
right, I'm about to get out of here. Again, I'll be coming back again to live a couple more days this week, guys. So y'all make sure y'all tune in.
I may drop by the studio.
No doubt. Mr. Donald, again, I'm gonna reach out to you tomorrow. Mr. Cooper, I'll also reach out to you tomorrow, and we'll figure out how we can get these links so we can not have this issue with you guys getting on Tuesday nights. But anyway, sir, you have a good one. I am out of here.
All right, sir. Appreciate you.
Yeah.